This is Valley News Live at 4.
We begin with breaking news this afternoon as the search for Brian Landry may be over as human remains have been found in an environmental park in Florida. They were found near a backpack consistent with items that Landry may have been carrying. Law enforcement officials put up a white tent. They're conducting a more thorough search. An FBI spokesperson saying that the items were found in an area that had previously been underwater. Brian Landry has been missing for weeks. His girlfriend, Gabby Petito, was found strangled to death in Wyoming back in September 19th. Landry has not been charged in her death. However, the remains of a person of interest in that case. Closer to home, fire crews remain on the scene after flames damaged several apartments and 3 businesses in Wadena, Minnesota today. It happened at Jefferson Street South just after 11:15. For a time, there were flames coming from the second floor of that building. 7 people have been displaced and are being helped by the American Red Cross. The cause of the fire is under investigation. Look for more on this story in our later newscasts. Fargo's Liquor Control Board is recommending the transfer of the liquor license of the Africa nightclub to the building's owner, who is now commercial realtor Tyler Brandt. That approval comes with a condition. Fargo Assistant City Attorney Nancy Moore said that the Africa nightclub and Brandt have an agreement to transfer, but it could be a few more months before Brandt has the details, like a long-term manager, worked out. When Brandt does, those plans will be reviewed by the Liquor Control Board again for approval. The matter would then go to the full City Commission for its approval. Wow, that wind is really making it feel colder outside, and the best way to avoid it, bundle up or stay inside. Let's find out if conditions will stay that way tonight as well. Hutch?
Mike, thanks. As you can see here from our Dakota Magic Casino view, as we forecast yesterday, the rain and precipitation south of us and mainly staying south of Interstate 94. So it's a soggy day in these areas, and some moderate rain showers could lead up to a 1/10 or even as many as a 1/2 inch of rain for some of you. As we head through the evening up here, it's just downright cold. Here's a look at the radar. We had some thunderstorms rumble through the Twin Cities area earlier. The heaviest of the showers now focused down to the far south. Again, we are seeing some blue on the radar screen, and we told you last night that there'd be a chance of some flakes mixing in. Keeping a very close eye on that out to the west. I'm not seeing it. So rain showers this evening, and they will continue as temperatures are already in the mid-30s in places like Oaks. And we have low to mid-40s across portions of us here in the Red River Valley and points east. All in all, we're expecting this system to slowly exit. Clearing skies means cold temperatures for tonight. If you are heading out to church or any other activities on your Wednesday evening, temperatures will be in the low to mid-30s. As we go through the overnight, the clouds will eventually begin to break up and clear, and then we're on our way into the 20s. It'll be a cold one out there. I'll have hour-by-hour details on how low we go in your neighborhood, and we'll talk about how many days in a row we have that freezing weather chance in the mornings, because it's a few of them.
All right, thanks, Hutch.
Yes.
A Moorhead man is under arrest accused of breaking into a car dealership and assaulting someone this morning. It happened just after midnight at a dealership along 30th Avenue South by a Moorhead Holiday gas station. Authorities would later find a person who was assaulted and a man running away. Eventually, the police caught up and arrested 29-year-old Alfred Thompson. The victim was taken to the hospital and was expected to be okay. A North Dakota man is behind bars after 3 months on the run. 41-year-old Chadwick Frovar was arrested in Walsh County on multiple charges, including failure to appear on drug charges out of Grand Forks County. A new court date for him has not yet been set. Stories continue to surface about the amazing story of a survival surrounding yesterday's plane crash in Texas. There are also new questions. The MD-87 passenger jet had 21 people on board when it caught fire outside Houston. Somehow, every one of them survived, most without even a scratch. Janet Shermillian is outside Houston's executive airport, where investigators are on the scene.
Runway officer suspended at this time.
A large commuter jet engulfed in flames, thick black smoke pouring into the sky.
They were taking off from the airport when they crashed.
First responders raced to the scene expecting the very worst. That's not what they found.
They were very, very stunned, but they did all self-extricate.
With just 2 minor injuries, all 18 passengers and 3 crew members were already off the plane and safe. A person on board who asked us to alter their voice described how it unfolded.
going down the runway, and all of a sudden they slammed on the brakes. Things were flying around, and when it finally came to a stop, they just told us to get out, and we unbuckled ourselves and ran because we thought it was going to explode. It was already on fire before we got out of it.
These are the passengers after leaving the plane, baseball fans. Headed to last night's Astros-Red Sox playoff game in Boston, when authorities say it rolled off the runway, through a fence, and across a road. A number of factors could have led to the crash, says former NTSB chairman Robert Sumwalt.
It could be that there was a warning light that came on in the cockpit right as the crew was preparing to take off, and they decided or elected to reject the takeoff. It could be a mechanical condition that would have prevented the aircraft from actually lifting off.
The plane was large enough to have exit slides, which were deployed.
We absolutely positively got the best outcome we could hope for in this incident.
Janet Shamlian, CBS News, Waller, Texas.
The NTSB is examining the flight data recorder today, and they'll have an opportunity they often don't have in accidents like this. They can interview the surviving passengers and crew. The man who confessed to the 2018 massacre at a Florida high school has pleaded guilty to all charges. Nicholas Cruz addressed the judge and admitted to 17 counts of premeditated murder and 17 counts of attempted murder. Cruz apologized to the families of the victims, which isn't what some parents wanted to hear.
Absolutely ridiculous statement from the defendant. If you wanted to do something for our families, you shouldn't have killed our loved ones.
The Parkland shooting was the deadliest high school shooting in U.S. history. Cruz's attorneys are asking for a life sentence, but he will likely still go before a jury because the death penalty has not been taken off the table. President Biden told lawmakers that tuition-free community college is being dropped from the $3.5 trillion social spending bill. That section has now been removed as that massive bill continues to be reduced. The bill is now expected to come in between $1.75 and $1.9 trillion. The FDA could authorize booster doses of the Moderna and Johnson & Johnson vaccines very soon in the coming weeks. The federal health agencies will also consider authorization of the COVID-19 vaccine for children ages 5 to 11. As Natalie Brand reports, the White House is gearing up.
We have secured vaccine supply to vaccinate every child ages 5 through 11.
Once the FDA and CDC sign off, the White House COVID response team says its distribution plan will target kid-friendly spaces, including more than 25,000 pediatric and primary care provider sites, as well as hospitals, pharmacies, and schools. Supplies will also include smaller needles, and the administration says it will launch a campaign to educate parents.
We will make sure that we are reaching parents in their language and through the people they trust.
The administration's health officials say more than 2 out of 3 eligible Americans are now fully vaccinated as more employers step up their vaccine requirements.
New York City announced it's requiring police officers, firefighters, and EMTs to get their first dose by October 29th or be put on unpaid leave.
We are here to keep you safe so you can keep everyone else safe.
But some first responders, such as this firefighter from Washington State, are choosing to resign instead of comply with vaccine mandates.
I'm wrapping up my last shift after 20 years.
The CDC says unvaccinated people are more than 18 times more likely to end up in the hospital and 11 times more likely to die. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
The Biden administration says it fully supports New York City's vaccine mandate for all city workers. With a critical blood shortage hitting local blood banks and hospitals, Vitalant is trying to clear up questions and concerns about blood donations and COVID-19. If you want to donate, you'll need to disclose your COVID-19 vaccine status. You're eligible to donate, but they need to know which kind of vaccine you received. If you've had COVID, you're also okay to donate if you're outside of your quarantine guidelines, feeling healthy and well. Vitalant also tells us that they are down to a 1-day supply of blood and they'd like to have a 4 or 5-day supply. To schedule an appointment, go to Vitalant.org or call your local blood donation site. Stay with us. Coming up later, why you need to ask your kids what they want for Christmas and do it quickly.
Maybe those kids want a little bit of this for Christmas. That would be a white one. Well, chances of that are pretty good. This is the Black Hills just off to the west of Rapid City today. And 1 year ago today, We had some shovel trouble in our neck of the woods. Today it's just a little bit of rain activity, but the cold is ready to take hold. Your forecast for First Alert Weather Day tomorrow is next.